Hey, what's up? It is DJ. Today we've got 10 new screenshots for Farming Simulator 25 to take a look at, including baby animals, more new equipment, lighting, and tornadoes. If you haven't pre-ordered Farm Sim 25 yet, check the link in the description for the base game as well as the year one bundle. Let's start it off with this guy, little baby cow. So baby animals are coming to Farming Simulator 25. And one of the things we could see here, along with the baby cow, is the grass. The grass is very, very different than we've seen in the past. Also, I will say this, the cow is very highly detailed, or the calf rather. I also like the Giant Software have done a really good job in making the animals cute. I mean, look at this little guy, he's adorable. The hair looks great, the details look great. And as far as the video game goes, especially Farming Simulator, I think the sky's okay as well. I do also like how the trees have all this extra detail in comparison to Farming Simulator 22. Much better. Trying to take a look at anything else through here. Of course, we've got a fence here. This looks very similar to one that we've got in Farm Sim 24, Farm Sim 22 already. And then we can see some stuff way off in the background, but there's really nothing important to look at there. Overall, a great screenshot, and it's really cool to see baby animals. Next, we see some little baby piggies. As a matter of fact, I don't think there's any full-size pigs in this screenshot. Everything, everywhere, is just a bunch of little baby piggies. Again, kudos to Giant Software for keeping these nice and cute. I think the ears look great. The hair on them looks really realistic. Well, as realistic as it can in a video game. I will say that the ground leaves a lot to be desired here, but it is cool to see like boot prints right here, things like that. But otherwise, it's I don't know. The ground doesn't look the greatest, I'll give it that much. Couple areas around, we have a shipping container in the background. I wonder if the containers for logging are coming back from Farming Simulator 22 from the Platinum expansion, possibly. We also have what looks to be a gate in the back, a red gate coming in from outside. Again, I don't know anything about that. As far as everything else goes, we've got similar tree setups here, very similar fence, not the same, but very similar. And the sky is looking about the same. As a matter of fact, that may be the same cloud. In the background, though, we do have some color. We've got some pink flowers, white ones, red, some red in the tree as well. Very different from what we've seen for Farming Simulator 22. I love it. Overall, great picture, but I think the ground could use some work. That's it for animals, so let's talk about equipment with the Iseki Japan PRJ8. This is a piece of equipment that we actually got to see in the CGI trailer a couple months ago. It's an 8-row planter for rice. You can see all that in the background. And we also know that we'll be able to buy rice in pallets, or you can grow your own rice in greenhouses, which will be really cool. As for interesting details on here, of course, we've got really interesting front and rear wheels. We don't do rice in my area, North Carolina, so I'm not used to seeing stuff like this, but it does look super duper cool. We've also got markers right here on the very edge. We've got one there and another one on the other side, probably just making it easier for you guys to run everything. Then we've got what looks to be a wind thing on the side. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that thing. Maybe there's something to do with something somewhere, who knows. We also have what looks to be like a GPS unit or something on top as well. That's kind of cool. It is an open cabin, so no roof over top, and I'm imagining it'll be pretty detailed once you get in first person. We don't get to see the back of the machine in this screenshot, but we do have 8 different setups of rice. I don't know how many are going to be available in a pallet, but well, we've got 8 of them here. There's also a little bit of clipping with the pants and the boot here. We've definitely seen some artifacts in some of the screenshots, so just keep an eye out for those. And we also have a new character design as well. Looking beyond the obvious, well, we can see we have water that's moving around, moving away from the machine. We've seen a lot of that with Farming Simulator 25. They've shown the water a bunch. So like everything that touches the water will interact with it in some way, which is very cool. We've also got some shadows and some God rays coming through the trees in the background. Now it's far enough away where it's not going to be high quality, even in 4K. And if I zoom in, it makes it just worse, but it does look pretty darn good. Another thing is reflections. So sometimes reflections are not the greatest with Farming Simulator, but as you can see here, everything is a 1-to-1. Of course, the colors bouncing off of the water are going to be either muted or maybe enhanced in some way. For example, here we could see the tree is a little bit more lighter brown, and the grass, or the plants rather, are a much brighter green than they were. I'm trying to see if there's a reflection of the piece of equipment. It kind of is, but it looks like the ripples are breaking that up. So I wonder how that's going to look if the water was completely calm. Other than that, sky looks great. Everything's good here. And it's really nice to see this planter. We haven't seen a whole lot with this. We definitely haven't seen any screenshots of it in game. Everything that we got was from CGI trailer. So this, 2 thumbs up, man. Now here's a cool one. This is a Fendt tractor. I believe that's a Fendt 700, if I can see that correctly. And then we have an AgriMass plow on here. We can see, of course, all of the different textures and designs that we've got going on. As the plow texture goes up, it looks like it's going over some area that's been harvested previously. And it's also digging right into the ground, which is very, very cool. Now, we do know that we're going to have ground deformation with Farming Simulator 25, and we can see a little bit of that here right behind the back wheel. You might be able to see right in front of the plow, we've got the wheel and how it is pushing the ground down in it. You're not getting as much with the cultivate or the harvested ground there, but we do have that. We've got some stones around. Some stones are coming back, and it looks like they're a little bit more random and a little bit different. But you can also see a very clear line straight across, like right at the top of your screen, and then bam, where it goes from really high detail and high quality to a very, very low detail and quality. It would have been nice to have some really, really high detail in these screenshots, but I get why we don't have that. Also, in the far right-hand side up here, it also looks like we've got another mill. I think that's the same paper mill that we got to see in screenshots previously. I can't tell for sure, but it looks exactly like it. As for everything else here, I'm trying to find stuff that's like insanely different than what we see now. Of course, the trees look really good, much different. There's twice as much foliage in there as we would normally see because it's double-sided now instead of just single-sided. The clouds look fine, nothing wrong with those. And then as we get off into the distance, the trees actually look much better than the ground does, which I was not expecting. I'll say this much, I'm super happy with the lighting. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm totally cool with this. I think the details look great. I think that the graphics look nice. I don't know if they're playing everything in high quality here or not. I would hope so if they're sharing things like this, because I play in high detail and high quality when I'm doing Let's Plays. They are 1440p screenshots, so they're not 4K, but it's good enough. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining too much, so let's talk about this guy. Super, super cool here. We've got a big old Case Quadtrac 715, which we've seen a lot. I will give you this as well. This is a really low quality and low detail screenshot. Everything in the background looks good. The trees look good. The coach builder looks really nice, but the tractor looks pretty rough. Now, as far as this cultivator is concerned, we've actually seen this before. It's the same cultivator that we got to see with the 715 here, right here in the CGI trailer. Now, I couldn't get a great look at this. Some people have been able to figure out what it is. Some people, like myself, still left in the dark. So, hey, if you know what this is, let me know, because I have no idea and I can't get this to stop. This is a Sumter, something like that. I have no idea. Regardless, that's exactly what we're seeing right here. Now, as far as everything else goes, off in the distance, we've got a couple signs here. We've got a field that looks to be ready to harvest, though it's got some weeds growing in it, and they are a little bit more random than we're used to seeing. So that's really nice. Road way down at the bottom, and then the road kind of curls up again right outside that coach builder, which we have seen multiple times at this point now. As far as I've been able to discern, this is going to work like the boats do on Silver Run Forest. So you deliver your lumber and the different materials needed to build said coach, which could be seen up at the top right hand corner, and then once it's ready to go, it'll pop one out and start building the next one, and after a certain amount of time it will disappear. So great screenshot here. A little bit low quality on the case right there. Would be nice to see a higher detail version of that, but everything else actually in the screenshot looks awesome. Now we come back to the spinach harvester. This is the Oxbow MKB 4TR. There's a couple things with this that I want to mention. There's not a whole lot going on with the screenshot itself, at least around towards the outside. We got a little barn out there. I don't know what that is. Everything else, at least in the back area, nothing we haven't seen already. However, there's a couple things on the machine. First off, in the front, as far as we've been able to tell, and as far as I've been able to see with Giant Software, this is a blower, which kind of cleans off the leaves or blows off the bugs or something like that so that they are not being harvested up. And then of course we have regular cutter and harvesting and bringing it all into the machine, which goes into the back and then overloads. This machine in real life is also available with wheels, but I don't think we're going to be seeing a wheeled version. At least we haven't seen it yet. You can see right here at kind of the front, the fender there where it comes up, that's where your wheel would go. And I believe, at least with this model specifically, the 40R, the back is just tracks with this one. So I think the one with 4 wheels is a completely different model. I'll give you this though. The level of detail is just insane. Look at all the stuff. There's so much stuff coming through here. All the wires, all the hoses, you can actually follow them. I mentioned custom modding and JHHD before, but they are two of the guys that are really like pushing this kind of thing in previous Farming Simulator games, and as well as in Farming Simulator 22. They're just really going at it. It's super cool to see those. We also have our character in there. I don't know if there's much new going on with that. Again, the boot and the pants is cutting through. Again, not great to see. I feel like we're past that point, but what are you gonna do? Overall, cool screenshot. Great to see this machine again. They've been very heavy-handed with this machine. Here's the question that I have, and maybe you guys do as well. This is the only machine we've seen that harvests spinach. There's gotta be some smaller stuff, right? There's no way we're gonna have to spend 400 grand just on a machine to do the new crop. There's gotta be something smaller. Now we get into the goodies. On this screenshot, we've got our tornado kind of in the middle of the screen. You may be able to see kind of the V shape as it goes up, and there's not a lot of connecting clouds. I've never seen a tornado in real life, so I don't know how it works, but we've got that. I've also been told that all of this debris is not actually going to come from anywhere. It's just articles and particles and artifacts and stuff like that that actually are part of the tornado effect itself. So you're not going to be getting anything different. Now, you can turn off ground destruction. So your crop destruction, you're not going to actually see any of that in this screenshot. But whenever the tornado comes through, or twister, as Giant Software are calling it, they're not calling them tornadoes, they're calling them twisters. They're synonymous. The crop destruction can be turned on and off. However, as far as I know, the tree destruction is not going to be able to be turned on and off. If it comes through, it's destroying those trees, and you're going to be able to see exactly where it goes through. Now, there's one other thing that it will destroy, and that's going to be bales. Believe it or not. I don't think it's going to pick them up and throw them around, but it will either delete the bale, or it will kind of rip it up. I'm not sure if it's going to throw straw and hay and grass and silage all over the place. Maybe it's just going to delete the amount of stuff that's inside of it. We'll have to wait for a final version of that, but maybe that helps you guys out a little bit and answer some questions that you have about twisters. All right, enough of that. Let's talk about the case. Oh, I love case so much. This is the Magnum 340. Absolutely beautiful machine. You can see how wet it is. It's shiny. We've also got somebody in the background who's just ready for us to move and leave. It also looks like we've got hail. I don't know. Oh, those are the headlights for the car. Never mind. Ignore what I just said. That was dumb. Let's go back to the case now. Just ignore that all the way back there. As far as the case goes, we do have rain particles that are on the windshield. The wipers will run. They will work. They're going to be great. And then we've got stuff all over. Now, there is one other thing as well. You can see there's a license plate on here. We can't see the license plate. However, I believe it is a Mississippi license plate, I think. We also know that the map said Arkansas in the video that we saw earlier. So yeah, I'm not really sure which one's which. I know that they share a border, so maybe the Arkansas state highway is dealing with the waterways and everything. Nonetheless, super cool. I love seeing this case right here. It's really good to see some red machines. And oh yeah, and the water lands on like everything. So the wheels, the equipment itself, it's also going to be landing on the windshield, and even the mirrors and the beacons. It's going to be on everything. Such a cool, epic shot, dude. This is a case IH in a tornado. I'm going to be chasing these tornadoes, what I'm going to be doing. Here's another screenshot of the twister in a different location on the map. We've got a water tower there, around, kind of looks like in town a little bit. What is this over here? Blue Dwar. Dware? Blue Dware? Louis Dware? I don't actually know what's going on with that. We've got other things around too. Farming Simulator logo. We got a grain bin there on the right hand side. Not quite sure what building. this is. Of course, we have our case down there as well. Low quality, at least like the finer details. Yeah, we got particles flying around everywhere. We got the twister off on the right-hand side. But the things that I would love to see the detail on, really not seeing a whole lot of detail. The case, I know we got to zoom in on it quite a bit, but not as much detail as I'd like to see off of that. It is what it is. I get it. I understand. I just want more. And I think you guys want more as well, and you deserve more. That being said, the twister's just epic. I mean, the thing is so mean. As far as I know, you can also turn these off, so I don't think you're going to have to worry about having these on the map if you don't want to. And they'll pop up kind of like snow does in a way. You know, sometimes in the winter, it just doesn't snow on the base game maps. Well, this will kind of be the same way, where sometimes the tornadoes hit in the summer, and sometimes they don't. And if you're playing with same day seasons, kind of like I do, but I use a seasonal calendar in a way where visually, but if you're turning on like every day is June, for example, it could be random. It could happen every day, something like that. So we will do a lot more testing when it comes to Farm Sim 25 once we get our hands on it. Our ninth screenshot is actually one we've already seen, the Massie Ferguson 9S, along with our player character running here. And then in the background, we have hell. Now that is truly and purely hell, not the headlights of a car. I'm the idiot there. We also can see the ground deformation under the wheels. It looks like they backed it in there before it started getting stormy. Of course, I don't know why you would take a machine out when it's storming anyway, but you've got that. So it probably backed it in when the ground was dry. Kind of deformed it a little bit. Didn't get any mud on the tires because, well, there was no mud there to begin with. As for everything else, we have dissected this screenshot in detail already. And we even thought that in the background we saw a twister to begin with. Now, looking at it now, I'm not sure if it was there or not, but boy, does it look like it, though. It kind of looks like a twister in the background. Nonetheless, we have a hailstorm here with a crop in the background, probably wheat or barley, something like that. And our last screenshot is also the Massie Ferguson 9S backed into an area, and it looks like this is the exact same spot, but kind of from a different angle. We can see on the left-hand side the sun, but on the right-hand side over here, that looks a little bit more dangerous, if you know what I mean. It does look like it's backed into the exact same spot. It looks like the ground is in the same place. It's just the light's coming from a different angle, and our player character's also in a different spot as well. It's also interesting to note that from this angle, there is no hail, so I don't think this was taken at the exact same time, just the same location. You see, this is just purely rain coming down, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. We can also see the Massie Ferguson, which is, again, wet, not massively wet. Also, there is no water on the windshield or anywhere on the machine for that matter. The wheels look wet. They're very shiny, but the machine itself is totally dry. So I don't know if anything had changed between when they took these screenshots and maybe the video that was posted. Something like that, I have no idea. We do have nice lighting coming through, and in the previous one, actually, the lighting was actually really, really good. You could see all the shining coming off of the headlights, coming straight out. The back of the person was darker than the front of the person. You would expect that to happen, but just saying. As for everything else, I don't know if there's much more to talk about here. We don't see our person forward facing, again, just from the side and moving. Now, they have been very, very heavy-handed when it comes to showing off our player characters moving in a certain direction, so hopefully we'll be getting that third-person view that we all want. And that's it. That's all the screenshots that we've got today, as well as all of the information. I've already done a full trailer breakdown of the Gamescom gameplay trailer. That's the first trailer we've gotten for Farming Simulator 25, or at least for gameplay that's not CGI, so definitely check that out if you haven't seen it already. There's also a couple shorts up if you guys want some shorter form content, and we've got a great interview coming in the next few days with Giant Software about all of this, so stay tuned for that. Again, quick reminder, if you haven't picked up Farming Simulator 25 yet, pre-order, and you would like to, check out the link in the description and use code DjGoHam when you do. If there's anything you think I missed, hey, let me know down in the comment section below. If you have any questions, let me know, and again, check out some of those other videos on screen right now for more Farming Simulator 25 coverage. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you later.